Miss Quinn Solis. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm the Associate Director for the Research Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity at UCSB, aka the Pride Center. Long word for that. In college, I majored in criminal justice at California Lutheran University's in Thousand Oaks in California. And then I pursued a master's in education at San Francisco State University. And I just graduated in 2019.
Oh,
So
wow.
very fresh. Yeah, and a little bit about me. I'm a queer and trans, non-binary, like first-gen college student and a second-generation U.S. citizen. So I am a product of immigrants from Mexico, and I'm very proud of that identity. But I also identify as Mexican, Chicanx, Latinx, all the things in the umbrella when it comes to that identity and my ethnicity. It was rough, I'm not gonna lie, and there's a reason why I work in higher ed. There's a reason why I work at a university, because I feel there's responsibility to make sure that what happened in my undergrad does not happen to any other student. So again, I'm first gen college student. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to apply. I didn't know what to expect when I came to college because I didn't have anyone guiding me or mentoring me through this process. So I went to a community college for 2 years, then I transferred to Cal Lutheran, and Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks is a very small private religious school. And I was able to get a scholarship, so that's why I went, but they didn't really have a lot of the programs and resources that UCSB has. I wasn't really that involved on campus because I was working 3 jobs in order to to survive. So I would literally work 3 jobs, and I would just go to class. And I would be commuting, so I commuted 45 minutes because I couldn't afford to live in Thousand Oaks. And also, I needed to be close to my family to help and support them. So I just felt very disconnected to the community, to the campus, to the culture. And as a queer and trans person navigating undergrad, there wasn't an LGBTQ center. There really wasn't any type of resources or services for first gen students that I knew at the time, because there wasn't a lot of visibility around those identities on the campus. So my undergrad, I just kind of slid by and just barely made it, and I wanted to get out of there. So when I was deciding what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, or at least in the after graduation, I really was like, well, I really enjoyed college, and I knew that I would enjoy college, but I'm wondering if I can make more of an impact as a staff member, making sure that I reach out to people like me, right, queer and trans students that are just trying to survive in higher ed, and that's not how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Like students, specifically queer and trans, Black, Indigenous, and students of color should be able to thrive on campus. And I want to do my part in that. And I get to do that now at UCSB. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Remember your power, your worth, and your resilience. You walk with your ancestors and community. Try not to measure yourself against anyone else, and remember self-care is needed for survival and resistance. And that's a quote from Melissa Lopez. She's a licensed clinical social worker. And I just really want to echo all the things that she said, because higher ed as a first-gen student, navigating college as a first-gen student is hard, I'm not gonna lie, right? Like, I think there's a lot of blockades, especially going through a pandemic and remote learning. But again, like, you did not come this far just to come this far. And you belong at UCSB. And I hope that you remember that.